Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation, especially for the sensors out there that monitor the community guidelines. One of the things we really pride ourselves on at the New Health Conversation, we only offer medical proof. Nothing's an opinion, and all the medical proof that we share with everybody is in the public domain, so that all the people that are watching are able to see the actual proof of what we're talking about. Nothing we talk about is unsafe. It's all been proven medically. We've also written 4 best-selling books with some of the top medical doctors in the world. And again, we don't give people opinions and we don't make claims. So with that said, I want to welcome everybody on board. So Sam, Mojo, Mel, Haley, Rascal, Linmere, Jesse. So first, look at this headline, Weight Loss Miracle. I coach these 2 women. This is Women's World Magazine, the #1 women's magazine in the world. I coached both the mom and the daughter. The daughter lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom, who's 80 years old, lost 90 pounds in about 9 months, and they both have kept it off for nearly 3 years. This is not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It's not about exercise. It's a revolutionary new approach that was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. It took them 40 years, 100 studies, thousands of people, and you know what they concluded? Diets were miserable failures. There was no doubt that on every diet they put people on, they lost weight initially. But up to 2/3 of the people who went on any diet ended up gaining more weight than they lost. So this was a very important point because they figured out what didn't work. So what I'm going to show you next are the actual some of the patients or the people that went through the clinical studies, and wait till you see these results. Let's start first with this young woman right here. She lost 21.2 pounds, 38.75 inches in 30 days. That's without any exercise. And yet they measured water and they measured her lean muscle. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise. I know you're all stunned. I know you're all skeptical. And I promise I'm going to explain to you in just a minute or two exactly what she did. But I also want to point out before we even get started, I forgot to mention, right above where it says Women's World in red, notice it says the New Health Conversation. That's the free medical website to go there. If you go to that website, we will not contact you. Don't have any fear about that. And then right above it, free coaching. We offer you free coaching, 100% free coaching, because you have never done anything like this before. We got coached, okay? So let's look at a few more. Let's come back to Kristen for a moment. That's 5 pounds a week, 38 inches. Look at her day 1 stomach and then look at it on day 30. Then let's look at Julie. This is 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at the change in her body texture and body composition right there. Isn't that just crazy in a good way? And then this is the daughter of a friend of mine. Most of you will think it's a different woman. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. On the left, look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach area. On the right, look at her face, arms, stomach area. It's the same woman. It's not photoshopped, and it really was 3 months. So that's 5 pounds a week for 3 months. So this is not some flash in the pan. And we got people that need to lose 200-300 pounds even. But again, the basics are the same for everybody. Now let's go and look at the last one. This gentleman, an older gentleman, look at that, everyone. 40.8 pounds, 52.5 inches in just 30 days. As great as that is, look at his blood work, lab work, A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124 in just 30 days. Have you ever seen anything like that before? And that's without any exercise. And look at his stomach. Look at how much his stomach went down. He's not holding, someone yesterday said he's holding in. You can't suck your stomach in that much. I don't care. You'd have to be Superman to do that, right? Now, let's go back and now let's talk about exactly what did these researchers invent? How do you do it? Why is it unique, etc.? So let's talk about the fundamentals of diets and why they don't work. First of all, I think you all would agree that pretty much every diet out there is some form you've been told about calories in, calories out, counting calories, reducing calories. So the first question I always ask the audience is, can anybody give me the technical definition? No, becoming Tracy, absolutely it's the same woman. Trust me, it's the same woman. I mean, I know you don't think it is, but it's the same woman. I know her. She's the daughter of a friend of mine. I'm not going to Photoshop someone's daughter. That's not what we do. We're scientists. We're not marketing manipulators. Now, let's talk about what they did. The reason that diets don't work is the human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. It doesn't care about calories. It only cares about one fundamental thing that keeps us alive. And you know what that is? A minimum amount, not of calories, but of nutrition. Any diet you're on, what you're really doing, you're reducing the quantity of food you're consuming. And by definition, because why do we eat food? I know it tastes good. Only we eat food is for nutrition that keeps us alive. So when you lower the quantity of your food, you're lowering the nutrition. The researchers knew this. So they set out to do something different. They said, okay, can we give people less food by quantity, but actually increase nutrition? So here's how this was a theory. Could they do it? So they made a grocery list for her and everybody else. So 30% of the food she bought or you'd buy at your grocery store. But remember, only 30% of what you spent last month of the total budget. And the researchers picked this out: proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits. And what they were able to do was give her serving sizes, not calorie counts. Very important, serving sizes. So 30% of the food she consumed in a month came from the grocery store, at grocery stores around the world, because people are doing this all over the world. 70% of the food, on the other hand, came from other researchers, not the ones who invented this. There's no products involved here. Excuse me, by the way. No products at all. So they've had these exotic foods around the world from places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. They represented huge amounts of nutrition, huge amounts, and small quantities of food. So now they had the ingredients: 30% from the grocery store, 70% from these exotic foods around the world. Okay? And foods you can't buy in your grocery store, so don't even go there, okay? Then they invented two new ways of consuming the food. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world. That was breakfast, no food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods. And this is called protein pacing. The pacing is very important. I'm going to explain that to you in a moment. Remember, these never been tried before. And the researchers admitted if they tried to do this with regular food, it would never work. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricting. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. She was literally eating every hour and a half. Now, the pacing that I'm talking about was critical. Why? Because the researchers found out that the most efficient way for the body to use nutrients is to spread them out. In other words, don't load. Like, see this crazy time-restricted eating thing where you don't eat from 8 o'clock at night until noon the next day. By morning, your body is already in starvation mode. And all the medical studies, I have a big one here from the Journal of the American Medical Association, point out that this time-restricted eating is very ineffective. Here's what they said in this 3-month study. This is the Journal of the American Medical, not my opinion, by the way. I don't give you opinions. We give you facts. Journal of the American Medical Association, new research found that people who did time-restricted eating, where they fasted for 16 hours and eat for 8, over the course of 3 months, gained almost no benefit from it. And over the course of the 3 months, they lost an average of 2 to 3.5 pounds. And most of the weight they shed was not body fat, but lean muscle mass. Now, this is a medical study. It's not somebody on the internet giving you an opinion without a shred of medical evidence. This is what we're up against. That's why right now, Johns Hopkins Medical School has sounded the alarm. Study predicts obesity apocalypse. By 2030, we estimate 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in 4.5 years. Does that sound to any of you like any of these diets actually work? Now, the other critical part about this, it's called R2M, race to maintenance. See, that picture is about 8 or 9 years old, and what she was able to do is keep the weight off now for 8 or 9 years. Now, how simple is maintenance? These exotic foods, that's your breakfast. Every morning, you eat 2 meals, and then you have maybe once every couple months, do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast. Because there's another part to this that's really critical, and that is this new medical syndrome I'm holding right here that I have and you have and every person in the world, called TDOS. The T is for toxicity, the D is for nutritional deficiency, the O is for being overweight, the S is for stress. And the key is that every one of us are storing chemicals in our body, specifically in what's called our visceral fat. That's the fat around our organs, but especially in the abdomen area. That's why if you look at her on day 1, you can see all the sort of the bloating, and then on day 30, it's gone, because the researchers did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proving that this was removing chemicals from the body. I had some the other day tell me, well, there's all kinds of commercial detoxes. And I said, are there any peer-reviewed human trial studies? And they said, oh, of course, they're on PubMed. So again, what the problem is, when people make these outrageous statements, they don't have any proof. Because If you look it up, June 15th, it said there's no credible evidence of any commercial detox weight loss claim that's being made. Okay, well, that's the difference. Now, there's 10 peer-reviewed human trial study published in the biggest medical journals in the world. This is the proof, and this is the only system, only protocol, only weight loss protocol in the world with peer-reviewed human trial studies, meaning medical studies proving this is safe and it actually works. So Alan joined, and Marina, Trends, lots of you joining, Rachel, Diane, etc. We got 2 likes. Can we get some more taps on that screen to see if we can get some more likes, everybody? Okay, can everybody tap on the screen to give us more likes as we go through this? Now, let's go over it one more time, because I know we have a lot of new people that have come on here. So first of all, let me go backwards for a moment. Right above in red, Women's World, because I coach those 2 women, these 2 women right here, the mom and the daughter. Women's World, this is June 9th issue, just a week ago. And the daughter, who's a nurse, 57 years old, lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom, who's 80 years old, lost 90 pounds in 9 months. And they both kept it off for over 3 years doing this protocol. Now, right above the red tag there, which says Women's World, you'll notice in blue it says the New Health Conversation. That's a free medical website for you to go to. Free. And if you go there, we won't contact you, I promise. We don't need to do that. We let the medical proof speak for itself. But right above you see free coaching. This is free coaching, like no kidding, not up for debate. It's free coaching, absolutely, the whole way through. There's no gimmicks, no tricks. Because you're not buying anything from the coaches. You're not buying anything from these researchers. You're buying either 30% of your food from the grocery store or 70% from these exotic foods, but directly from those researchers. There's no middleman here. You're buying directly from them. And this is the outcomes. Look at this. Kristen, 21. How many of you, if you're honest, I'd love to know, put it in the chat. If you were going to lose 20 pounds, pick any diet, any workout, anything you want, how long would you really give yourself, assuming you're not on this podcast today? I'm always curious. The other thing I always ask people, what's a calorie? Do any of you know the medical definition of a calorie? Because you're counting calories. But this is the downfall of all diets. You have to understand your body, it doesn't know what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. And all the medical studies now prove that counting calories is dead, over, finished. I'll show you the medical proof in a moment. But for the new people coming on, let me explain to you. Well, here's another one. Look at this. The daughter of a friend of mine, 60 pounds in 3 months. And someone already accused me of it. It's not the same woman. No, it's the daughter of a friend of mine. You think I'm that sinister? I don't need to fake anything, because we have the medical proof that nobody else has. And I didn't invent it. It has nothing to do with it. I didn't invent it. But look at that change in her face, arms, body in 3 months. Where's all the loose skin? Or you can look at Julie here. 35 pounds in 37 days. We had a woman on 2 days ago. She was on day 23. She's already lost 22 pounds in 23 days. There's nothing like this on the planet. None of this is photo. And then look at an older guy, 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days. Least important part of his story. Look at his lab work. His A1C from 8.4 to 6.4 triglycerides, 242 to 124. That's in 30 days, everybody. 30 days. Has anyone ever seen anything like this? So Ceci and Sandra and Hi Limo and Julianne and Stephanie and I think that's Jorge and who else? Oh, Dan's on. Please tell me how I can do this. Lenore, I promise I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, so what did by the way, it was not invented by me or any of our coaches. It was invented by the top weight loss nutrition, Lenore, by the top weight loss physiologists and nutritionists in the world. They did 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people, and what they proved was that diets are miserable failures. And all that time, every person, well, 2/3 of the people that they had studied over 40 years gained back more weight than they lost. So they said the problem with diets, and here's Lenore why this works. The researchers figured out that what they would attempt to do, was give people less food, but find foods with more nutrition. Because honestly, Lenore, that's the only thing your body cares about. It doesn't know what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. So what they were able to do is they put together a food list, but only 30% of the food she had bought the previous month, she was going to spend 30% on food this month, given what the researchers gave to her, a list of proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits. But instead of giving her calorie counts, they gave her serving sizes. But remember, this is only 30% of what she was going to eat in a month. The other 70% of what she spent and bought came from other researchers who literally had gone around the world for 20 years to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods, Lenore, with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food. So now they had the ingredients. And then they created 2 new ways that you would consume food. This is how she did it. 5 days a week, Lenore, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods. That was breakfast, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner with the family from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner with these exotic foods around the world. That's called protein pacing. We'll come back to that in a moment. Then 2 days a week, she did something that had never been tried before, intermittent nutritional fasting. No, I didn't misspeak. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half. Do you know on this no one was hungry? And we had people that weighed 400 or 500 pounds. Nobody was hungry. Because the hunger in your body is not for calories. The hunger in your body is for nutrition. Do you get this, everybody? That's why it's so different and so unique. And that's what the researchers proved. But the key was, this is 8 or 9 years ago, this photo, she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. It's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. That's what it's called, Race to Maintenance. Now, all of you can also see right here, above where it says Woman's World. By the way, that's the #1 women's magazine in the world. I coached those 2 women. I have the magazine right here. The nurse, the daughter's a nurse, 57 years old, lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom, who's 80, lost 90 pounds in about 9 months. They both kept it off for 3 years. That's what maintenance looks like. This is not some flash in the pan where you can lose the weight really quickly and it comes back. No, that's one of the things that you notice right above where it says the New Health Conversation, which is free to go there and we won't contact you. If you go to that website, we will not contact you. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll down and get a coach. The coaching is free. Now, why is that important? Why? Because we have kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91 years old. Actually, she's the sister of this lady here. Her name is Linda. Her sister's 91. Her sister's now taking taekwondo lessons at 91 years of age. We have people with no thyroids. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with kidney transplant. We have people with no gallbladders. And we're not treating, curing, dying, diagnosing, or preventing any diseases. So don't hear me say that. That is not true. All we're doing is sharing with you the actual medical proof of what they found and how these people did this. So that website is critical for you. If you're curious, go look at the medical proof and then get a coach or not. See, what we don't do, we're not forcing you to get a coach or do anything or sign up for anything. See the medical proof first and then decide if you want to really pursue this. I know it sounds too good to be true, but look at it. Look at this, everybody. I mean, it's crazy. My friend's daughter, I know all of you think, I've already had a couple of people say, it's not the same person. Of course not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is the same person. Yeah, I know her hairstyle is a little bit different and whatever, it's a different angle, but that's what happens when you lose 60 pounds. Amazing, right? Okay, so blessed 2908, tell me what I missed. Yes, give me 1 second. Use the 661, meek, happy feet, followed. Yes, I understand, Lenore. Great, Lenore. Got it? And Lenore, you just give me a yes. You understand you can go to that website and see the medical proof. Lenore, give me a yes, just so I know. So blessed 2908, I'm going to explain to you what they did. So first of all, 2908, look at that. That's real. 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days. How excited would you be, blessed 2908, if you could lose 21 pounds in a month with no exercise? And actually, instead of losing any lean muscle, in all cases, people gain 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in a month. So how did they do it? Okay, good. Yeah, very excited. Everybody's very excited when I tell them. I'm like, I'm coming like Christmas time, right? Like I'm Santa Claus in a sense. No, not really. Because it's not my research. This was invented, blessed, by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. After 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people, they finally came to the conclusion no diets ever work long term. Evidenced by the fact in 1964, Lenore, 15% of America was overweight or obese, and now Johns Hopkins Medical School, I'll read you the study. Study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. In 4.5 years, they estimate 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. So the researchers said we need to do something different. So here's what they did. It sounds simple, but it was complicated. See, Lenore, everybody's body, what does it cost? But you're going to spend about what you spend right now. There's no products here, everybody. So Greenie, there's no products. This is food. Let me explain it to you. So what the researchers did, they said the only thing the body runs on and cares about is not calories, but a minimum amount of what? Everybody, nutrition. So what's the downfall of all diets? You're counting calories. The body doesn't even know what a calorie is. You're ignoring the fact that what your body really wants is nutrition. It doesn't want calories. So when you go on a diet and you lower the amount of food you're consuming, what else you're lowering? Nutrition. When your brain figures out there's not enough nutrition, it freaks out, goes into starvation mode, stops you from accessing the fuel inside your fat cell, and turns to your muscles for fuel, and does two of the most unhealthy things you could ever do to yourself. Number one, it slows down your metabolism. That's why you yo-yo on these diets. But worse, when you lose lean muscle, which is the case on all these diets, you slow down your own immune system. It's not 25 to 40% of what you're losing on any diet is lean muscle mass, whether you know that or not. That's what all the medical proof is. Imagine that. So you lose 20 pounds, 5 to 8 pounds is your lean muscle mass, okay? Now, the researchers, so what they did, they said, we want to be able to see, can we give people less food? But let's go find new food that has huge amounts of nutrition and small quantities. So they put together a food list for her, for you, for everybody doing this, right? 30% of whatever you spent last month, Greenie, you'd spend at the grocery store with a designated food list from the researchers, proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits, based not on calories, but on serving size. Okay, so 30% of what you'd spend of your food budget at the grocery store. The other 70% you'd spend comes from these other researchers who are the top. They've spent 20 years going around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, finding foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities. So now they had, let's call it the ingredients. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Next, you need a pattern. You need a protocol. You need a recipe. Let's call it that. 5 days a week, she was eating 4 meals a day. She started with the world's most, exotic foods from around the world. That was breakfast. No food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store. Dinner from the grocery store, and her last meal of the day from these exotic foods. So she started with the exotic foods, breakfast, regular lunch from the grocery store list, regular dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner. That's called protein pacing. It's actually patented. It's actually patented, believe it or not. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not fasting. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But listen to this. They let her eat 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half. Nobody was hungry on this. We had people who weighed 400 pounds and not hungry. Because your hunger comes not from lack of calories, lack of nutrition. Okay? Then the other thing that was so significant about that, look at how much her waist shrank from day 1 to day 30. No one was allowed to exercise. They actually wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. Now, it's not that the researchers were against exercise, but they didn't want that to be an outlier. Got that part? Now, this is the last part. The last part was, once you reach your goal, then the coaches show you maintenance. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's what should excite you all. Okay, but another huge part of this that you all need to be aware of, and all of you suffer from this new medical syndrome called TDOS. What the heck is that? T stands for toxins. The D is for nutritional deficiency of our food, overweight, and stress. Basically what they're saying now, by the way, this is registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. Oh, Peter Greenlaw, I wonder who that is. Oh, guys, that's me. I did discover this. Registered trademark U.S. Patent Office of a new medical condition that every person in the world has. So we're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals, whether you know it or not, and your body's taking that chemical and stuffing it in your, what's called the visceral fat. That's the fat around the organs. You have an outer layer of fat called subcutaneous, no, it's the underlying fat, and you can see it in your stomach on day 1. See, don't let anybody tell you burn fat by a diet or workout. No, it's a total lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, but those fat cells over your life can expand or contract. Well, look at how they expanded for her on day 1, and then look at day 30. No exercise, no sit-ups, anything. I know this sounds too good to be true. Now let me do one other thing for all of you. Right above where it says Women's World in red, you notice the new health conversation. Free medical website. If you go there, we will not contact you. The only thing on that website is the medical proof backing up everything I'm saying, including an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. And he'll tell you, after 40 years, they'll never recommend a traditional diet to any patient of theirs ever again. And they're the top people in the world. They said it would be unethical. Peter, why would we put people on a diet for 8 weeks? We're up to 40% of what they're losing is lean muscle when we produce results in a week that took 2 months. And in a month's time, instead of people losing any lean muscle, they gain 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Does this make sense to everybody? Lenore, you get the list from the coaches, Lenore. And you also get this, Lenore. It's called the Blueprint Success, which is the absolute daily. These are all videos from the researchers telling you what to do. And I'll show it to you here. As part of this, there's the food list and there's also the daily schedules. And these little squares you see here, those are daily videos from the researchers who created. They don't sell anything. They don't have any products. Because, Lenore, the other part is it's not just what you're going to be consuming. It's the pattern, this new way of eating that they show you exactly. You get coached for free, Lenore. Why wouldn't you do that? You're not buying anything from the coaches. 30%, you're going to get a grocery list, but they need to explain it to you. And then the other 70%, they show you how to buy directly from those researchers. You don't buy anything from the coaches. Oh, by the way, I should tell you, Lenore and Greenlee, talk about something amazing. Those researchers, in the first 30 days, if you're unhappy, it didn't work, they give you all your money back. I'm not kidding you. We don't sell anything, so we're not doing it, but they do. I know it sounds too good to be true, but where else? Yeah, Lenore, how can I join this? Blessed 29. Okay, Blessed 29, Lenore. Do you see Blessed 29 where right above the red Women's World, the new health conversation? Give me a yes if you see that, Moo too. There's nothing to sign up for. That's what's so cool about this. So Moo, Blessed, and Lenore, do you see? And Gabby, how do I find all this food list? Gabby, you get it from the coaches. Because it's not just giving you a food list. That's what you have to understand. It's a completely different way of consuming the food, when you are, what the serving size is. We all got coached. Coaching's free, and right above it says free coaching. That's not a gimmick. You get coached for free. And the website to go to for all of you to see the medical proof first, the new health conversation, right there in blue, right above the red Women's World. It'd be like, imagine if you could join a gym and you get a free trainer, would you not take advantage of it? Because how you do this is so critically important. You're going to be doing something called 48 hours intermittent nutritional fasting. Oh my gosh, you're not fasting. It's not water fasting. It's not time-restricted eating. We're teaching you a completely new way, new approach, new pattern to consume food, but to get you to maintenance. I coach these two women. The daughter's 57, a nurse, 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom, 80, lost 90 pounds in 9 months, and they both have kept it off now it'll be 3 years in August. That's why you want to coach. Otherwise, there's plenty of people they'll give you recipes. Well, actually, they're charging you for recipes from what I can see. What a bunch of nonsense that is. A recipe? Do you think all this time, when John Hopkins is saying that they project in 4.5 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in 4.5 years? But here's the other thing. This whole thing about calorie counting, let me blow it to smithereens. Harvard Medical School, starting one of 3 studies I'm going to share with you. Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories. They said the idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's exactly what these researchers did, and they have nothing to do with Harvard. Okay, let's go to another big study. This one's titled The Science Behind Why Diets Don't Work. Now listen to this. Our researchers reviewed more than 30 long-term studies, calories in, calories out, and diets, and they found that diets actually cause weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does dieting not work for long-term weight loss, but it's also associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. You're going on diets to gain weight. You don't have to believe me. This is the medical science telling you. But let's go to one more. How about Medicare? Okay, they're trying to lower healthcare costs, right? This is their study. It came out just recently. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. That's Medicare. They went on to say, our researchers at Medicare reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? You're all on diets. You're all counting calories. I still don't have anybody even give me the definition of what's a calorie. Do you even know what calories are? I didn't 23 years ago, so I don't feel bad. But why are we counting calories? The human body doesn't give a darn about a calorie. Doesn't know what it is. Doesn't care. It only cares about nutrition. And you think you've ever seen, okay, any of you, you want to lose 20 pounds? How long would you normally give yourself? And this is with no exercise, by the way. So let's see, what else? How can I join? How can we sign up? Moo, you don't have to sign up for anything. Okay, how do I talk to the coaches? Blessed 209. Can you coach me? No, I can't coach you, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm involved 8, 9, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day doing these podcasts. There's no way I would be the worst coach for you. You will get a real coach, someone who's done it. They're very passionate. They had coaches themselves. So for all of you, there's nothing to join. There's nothing to buy from the coaches. The coaching is 100% free. Do you all give me a yes, Moo or Blessed? Please give me a yes. The New Health Conversation. Do you all see that there? That's the free medical website. Step 1, go to the website. Step 2, look at all the proof, and then and only there you can scroll down. It says free coach. You get a free coach the whole time. They'll go over everything with you, the food list, the schedules, how you do it. They'll show you the grocery list to go to your grocery store and show you how to order directly from these other researchers who had gone around the world to find these food sources. Doesn't that sound cool to everybody? I'm not sure how to start. Who do I call to take, please? What is the next step? Okay, Blessed, I just explained it to you. Do you see the website there, Blessed? Give me a yes. The New Health Conversation. Do you see that? Please give me a yes. Okay. So go to the website. No. Women's World has nothing to do. No, this was a big article about this in Women's World. No, you're going to the New Health Conversation. Do you see that? Blessed 290, right above where it says Women's World in blue. That's the website, the New Health Conversation, not Women's World. Women's World is the magazine that this was in, proving that, they're endorsing and saying it works. I mean, they're calling it, you can read the headline, over 50 protein miracle. This is not an advertisement, okay? The point is to get in this magazine. It's not, you don't get on the cover of this magazine, the #1 women's magazine in the world, if this is not real, if it's some kind of a scam. So do you see that? Yes. No, don't be sorry. And L, I think that's 1I. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yes, you understand, all of you, the New Health Conversation. Now, let me be clear, Blessed 2901, Lisa, or any of you. We will not contact you if you go to the New Health Conversation. We're not going to do that. But if you like what you see, you can scroll down, free coach, fill in the information, and the coaches, they will call you, text you, email you. Here's the only thing we ask. We're so busy. If you sign up for the coach and the coach reaches out, at least get back to them. I would say 50% of the people, they fill out the thing. And so if you don't want to coach, it's okay. Go back to doing whatever diet you're on. But it's not fair to our coaches because they're having to follow up 2 and 3 times and no one ever gets back to them. Why sign up for the coach in the first place? Make it more beneficial for you and your time. They're going to devote time to you. So the more times they have to reach out to people takes time away from the people who are actually coaching, if that makes sense to all of you. Isn't that fair? It's free coaching, for crying out loud. They're volunteering their time to coach you. At least you could do is answer their request. And they'll say they're from the New Health Conversation, so you'll know. They'll call you, text you, and email you, maybe all 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, or they'll call you on the phone. The coaching is 100% free. Why would you take advantage of it? So let's see. Will it work? Oh my God, yes. Lisa, you weren't on. We have people with no thyroids, Lisa. Hashimoto's. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with kidney transplant. We have people that have no gallbladders, for example. I mean, no, this premenopause, perimenopause. I mean, this is not a diet, okay? How exciting would that be, Lisa? And again, Lisa, what you'd want to do is go to the New Health Conversation and make sure when you fill it out, I have Hashimoto's, so we get someone who would be coaching you that would be familiar with that, right? But we have people with goiter, we have people with hyperthyroidism, I mean, all kinds of conditions. Basically, here's how simple it is, everybody. You're able to give your body huge amounts of nutrition in less food than the same amount of food probably you're consuming on any diet. But the problem on a diet, because you're not getting these exotic foods around the world with these huge amounts of nutrition, you're starving yourself from a nutritional standpoint, and you're losing lean muscle, whether you know it or not. That's what's happening. 25 to 40% of what you're losing is actually lean muscle mass. Does that make sense to everybody? Good, Lisa. Yeah, please go there. And you still eat real food? Yes. Yes. Oh, Dan's saying that. I see. You still eat food, correct. It's the food, right. Then go to the free coach. Will it work? Yeah, exactly. Working for Hashimoto's. So I'm going to end this in about another 4 or 5 minutes. Would anybody else like to ask me a question? But the most important thing for all of you, you have a free website to go to. We will not, if you go, you see it right above Women's World in red there, the New Health Conversation. Any of you go there. We will not contact you because we shouldn't have to. What's there are the 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies and an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, in the whole darn world, and let them explain it to you, right? So I'm going to go another minute or two. So please let me know if any of you have any questions. I'll go there after the live, said Blessed 2908. Okay, great. All of you, I just invite all of you to go there if you want. So who else would like to ask me a question? I know some of you are new, you probably missed that part. What we're talking about is how in the world did she lose 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days with no exercise, lost no water, and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise? Or this girl here who's the daughter of a friend of mine, 60 pounds in 3 months with no exercise. 60 pounds in 3 months. Good, Blessed. Well, I hope we can certainly help you and contribute to your life. But look at that, everybody. I know people think it's a different woman. No. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. We're not going to Photoshop a picture of my friend's daughter. We're not doing that. You can believe whatever you want to believe. But again, look at Julie, everybody. 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at the change in her body composition. That's really 37. You can see, well, let me get out of the way. October 3rd to November 9th, 37 days. So that's at least what they calculated, right? Okay, would anybody else like to ask a question before I end this live today? All right, everybody, I'm going to end this live right now. I want to thank all of you for being here. And I'll be on tomorrow morning, probably around like 11:30-ish. No, actually, the first one I'll probably do is about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then I'll do another one around probably 11:30 Eastern. I try and do 4 or 5 of these a day. That's why, for example, Blessed 2908, I'd be a horrible coach because you'd have a question. I'd be in the middle of a live, and I don't answer any correspondence in the middle of a live. Okay, everybody? All right, I'm going to end this now. I invite all of you to go to the website. Let me show it up there one more time. Website, okay, website name. Yeah, I'm going to type it for you. The New Health, Converse, BRSAT. I better spell it right. Hold on. So lazy cooking. Hold on. Hopefully you'll see it there. Do you see it right there? Lazy. So the website name, and it's all lowercase. The New Health Conversation. So lazy cooking. Do you see that? Give me a yes just to confirm that you see that and understand. If you do go there, lazy cooking, we will not contact you. We're not there to convince you or sell you or harass you. We're there to educate you. But if you like what you see, once you see the medical proof, scroll down, and then you can get a free coach, and the coaching is free the whole time, not just initially to lose the weight, but to teach you how to be on maintenance. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So Lisa Maureen, do you understand that? You can go to that website right above where it says Women's World, free to go there and look at the medical proof. If you like it, then you get a coach for free. And they'll show you how to order 30% of your food from the grocery store and the other 70% directly from the researchers who invented all of this. Does that make sense? Rita V. Does that make sense to you too? And again, you're probably reacting to this, right, everybody? 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days with absolutely no exercise. Lazy cooking said yes, great. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your night, evening, afternoon, because this is going all over the world. We got people in Australia now, in Melbourne and Sydney. It's 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning for them. Obviously, we have people in Europe. It's 12:20 at night in the Netherlands and Paris and in Germany and Madrid. I mean, we've got people all over the world that want to do this because we got 1 billion people worldwide clinically obese, not just overweight, clinically obese. Okay? All right, everybody, I'm gonna sign off for now.